Hey guys, what's up? Today I want to show you the rarest or the most expensive JRPGs I currently own in my collection. Now some of these can be quite hard to find, while others are easy to find, but what they all have in common is that they're somewhat pricey nowadays. They went up in price specifically because of the pandemic, but even before the pandemic some of these games were already kind of pricey. And today I'm gonna cover the PlayStation, I'll leave the Nintendo for the next video, so we got 6 games to cover, let's begin. Currently the most expensive JRPG in my PlayStation 1 collection is Suikoden II. One of the most sought after, beloved RPGs in the system. It's very expensive and hard to find at the same time because it was such a limited print run by Konami. Konami didn't really believe in the project, so when they released this game in North America, they were like, oh, let's just print just a bunch of copies out there, it's not gonna really sell well, and voila, it became one of the most popular RPGs on the system. Now, you're not gonna believe this, but this is a gift. That's right, somebody out there was crazy enough, in the good sense of the word, to send this game to me. And it's in good condition, it works just fine. I tested the game the moment I got it. I couldn't believe it, I still can't believe it. This is a gift from my buddy Rad. Rad is also a YouTuber, so of course the least I can do is share his social media, his YouTube channel in the links below in the description. One day he sent me a message on Facebook and said, hey, I noticed you don't own Suikoden II, I want to send it to you. And I was like, this guy's probably trolling me, right? So I answered to the guy, play a little bit, and he was dead serious. I found that he was dead serious on sending this game to me. So I gave him the address while I was still living in Canada, and he sent the game, and when I opened the package and I touched the game, I froze. Like, chills went down my spine. Oh my god, I got this eerie feeling that I was like, nah, it's not gonna work, this is a joke, this guy's probably a hater or something. And I don't know, I tested the game, it worked, and I was like, I can't believe it. I can't believe you're crazy, man! Suikoden 2, one of the rarest JRPGs on the PlayStation. I don't even know how much this game goes for nowadays, probably $300-400 US dollars for a complete, good working, good condition copy of it. Damn it, Rad, thank you very much. I'm still kind of speechless. I'm nervous whenever I talk about this game, and whenever I tell the story, I still get nervous, and I still get chills down my spine. Thank you very much once again, buddy. On the PlayStation 2, the rarest JRPG that I own, or rather the most expensive, is Saga Episode 3. Now, we've all seen, thanks to the pandemic, a huge rise in PlayStation 2 prices. We saw this coming, the pandemic just kind of moved it forward faster, and it happened sooner than what we all expected. It is a very similar case to Suikoden 2. The first Saga was a commercial success. I think it sold around 1 million copies. It's still kind of cheap nowadays, not hard to find. Saga 2, however, did a lot of damage to the reputation of the franchise. A lot of people disliked the game, got mixed to negative reviews, and so on. So Bandai Namco, when they published the third and final episode of Saga, they didn't believe in it. So what they did was precisely print very few copies of it. There's more copies of Saga 3 than Suikoden 2, but still, it was such a limited print run. Masterpiece. This game is a freaking masterpiece. The first Saga is great, the second is great too, I love it, I don't care, but this just tops both of them, not even close. This trilogy is amazing. It needs a remaster, like a modern re-release or whatever, but this is the best out of the three in my opinion. It wasn't that hard to find for me. Back in my reseller days, I remember I bought this PlayStation 2 with a bunch of RPGs. Some of them are still kind of easy to find nowadays, but the holy grail of that pack, of that batch, was this. Saga 3 was there, and I got it for a decent price. I think I paid $100 for the entire package, PlayStation 2 complete in box with all these amazing games, and Saga was there. Saga alone is way more than $100 nowadays. I think it goes for $150, more or less around that. And there's another version of this game which is even more expensive. The cover is kind of like, I don't want to say hologramic, it's more of a lenticular cover, and it's even more expensive than this one, even harder to find. But anyway, Saga 3, the rarest JRPG I own on the PlayStation 2. PlayStation 3, we've got a package, a collection, Atelier Ireland trilogy. PS3 games are currently not exactly rare. A huge majority of them, if not to say almost every single JRPG on the PlayStation 3, is not rare, it's not hard to find, and it's not really expensive. But this game, once again, we're talking about a limited print run, a small collection of the 3 first Atelier games on the PlayStation 3, and I can't believe it, this is a collection that we've already gotten on the Switch. And the original versions of this game, the original releases on the PlayStation 3, Atelier, Rorona, Totori, and Meruru are kind of cheap. easy to find nowadays, and if you buy those 3 games separately together, you know, it's still far easier and far cheaper than this freaking collection right here. I can't believe it, you know, this is like an $80 to $100 game already. Bullshit! This game is also a gift from my buddy Corey Matthews. He sent the game to me along with other games and a PSTV, I'll never forget that. Thank you very much once again, Corey. And I'm happy I own this collection because this is exactly the one that I wanted to own. I previously owned Rorona and Meruru, but as soon as I got this game, I got rid of those. So the only one that I was always missing was Totori, because it's a little bit harder to find than the other 2. But I'm so happy that I own this collection. Thanks once again, Corey. Now for you guys, I don't recommend this, do not buy this. It's a waste of money. You can buy the 3 original releases or the ones on the Switch, which are the remastered versions of the definitive versions of these 3 games, the ones that we got on the PlayStation Vita. The rarest and most expensive item in my collection is another gift. This was sent to me by Rem. However, this is a game I covered in my previous video on the most obscure JRPGs that I own. It's called Mist Over. The only physical releases out there are the Chinese or the Japanese versions with English subtitles, which still go nowadays for around $70, maybe $60. But I know what you're gonna say, it's cheating, it's an import, it shouldn't be here, imports don't count, even though some of them can be pretty rare and hard to find. So as for North American releases, Ys 8 is still the rarest or the most expensive JRPG I own on the PlayStation 4. 80 or 90% of JRPGs on the PlayStation 4 are not hard to find, not rare. You can find billions of copies of all of these games, even the most pricey ones. Now, the day 1 edition of this game usually goes for around $70, $80 I believe, I'm not entirely sure. There's a lot of copies out there on eBay, you can find this game everywhere you go. It's not rare, it's not really that expensive, but I had to include the PlayStation 4 for whatever reason, for fuck's sake. Another gift, this was sent to me along the PlayStation 4 by Jason. I'll never forget that, man. This was a fantastic surprise. Thank you very much once again. Alright, let's go portable now on the PSP. You will think that the rarest JRPGs that I own are the Ys games, because they are kind of pricey and hard to find, around maybe $70 to $80 range, both of them. And you don't see this very often, do you? Specifically this one. But these are not the rarest JRPG I own in my collection. You're not gonna believe which one is the holy grail of PSP JRPGs in my collection. Ragnarok Tactics. I was 100% sure when I was making my research before shooting this video that the Ys games were actually the rarest in my collection, but no. Ragnarok Tactics has suddenly gone up in price. It's crazy expensive, it's, well, not that crazy, it's what, like $100 and something out there. Barely a few copies I found on eBay or on several websites. I can't believe this. If you see this on your retro store, local retro store, or in any pawn shop or whatever, pick it up. I can't believe it went up in price. Maybe one day it will go down, but I seriously doubt it. It's a fantastic grid-based strategy RPG that I've praised a million times here. This is one of the best RPGs in my opinion on the PSP, and to make matters worse, I own the Japanese special edition, which includes an art book and a soundtrack, and I just so happened to replace the Japanese game for this one, and I sent as a gift the Japanese version to my buddy Einashi. Anyway, Ragnarok Tactics, currently the most expensive and rarest JRPG I own on the PSP. Now for the PlayStation Vita, I don't really have anything to brag about. These games can still be found for less than $80, probably 60, and a range from 60 to 70, maybe 80. These two are exactly the same price. Go to price charting right now, they share the exact same price. Now if I had to predict the future and determine which one of these is probably going to be more rare than the other, probably Tales of Hearts, for the simple reason that it's still an exclusive to the PS Vita, the remake of the original Nintendo DS version we never got. Trails of Cold Steel, however, is available on the Vita, on the PlayStation 3, on PC I believe, and also on the PlayStation 4 completely remastered. Both are fantastic games. Tales of Hearts, I've always said it's a game that it's very easy to get into, one of the most friendly entries into the series, completely balanced, completely cool, not very dark, not very light, not very hard, not very easy, and it's such a charming adventure, a charming game, man. So my pick for this video will be actually Tales of Hearts, because I think it's more rare, but really, most of the PS Vita JRPGs, even nowadays, that are hard to find in retro stores, you can still find them on online websites like eBay, for example, for a pretty decent price. Now, a little extra for you guys, Operation Darkness on the Xbox 360 is currently the rarest JRPG I own for this system. I own nothing for the original Xbox, and I own nothing for the Xbox One or the Xbox Series X. But since I'm not gonna make an Xbox video at all, I just thought I would include this game here in the PlayStation video for whatever. Alright guys, that's it. Those are the rarest, or rather the most expensive JRPGs currently in my collection for PlayStation consoles. Next up, Nintendo. Probably $300–400 US dollars, so rad. Those were very well sent. But this game, I can't believe it, it was such a limited print run, Bandai Namco once again. Together, it's still far easier and far bullshit. If you see this on your retro store, local retro store, or in any pawn shop, which were already kind of pricey before COVID-19, or even 10 times, are way pricier now, are way more pricey. Bullshit. Same prices everywhere you go. Sure, there's, eBay, right? There's like, fuck. Bullshit.